Hello and welcome to today's Wisdom Wednesday. This week the title is Cultivate Your Curiosity. So if you'd like to know where I get my devotional journal, it's at dayspring.com, and this has been awesome. If you want to grab it and follow along, they're just little daily segments, and they always just give you a verse here and then just a short little devotional, and on this side is always a question, so always fill that out, and then a prayer at the bottom. So if you've been following, thank you so much. That means the world to me. And yeah, I do these every Wednesday and try to be an encouragement and be as uplifting as I can. There may be something that you're going through and just need a little hug. So let's get started. Cultivate your curiosity. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses thought, I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up. And that's Exodus 3, verse 2 and 3. I'm convinced that the enemy plots with the spirit of the ordinary to get us to settle, to have us stay where we are, to remain content and silence our calling when it knocks. If the enemy can get a woman to fear, or better yet, to ignore the holy whisper that calls her onto the battlefield of purpose and significance, then she'll never even know she's living beneath her birthright. Although he's a man, Moses is probably one of my favorite examples of this. He was an outcast, a foreigner, and an orphan abandoned by his mother. He was tending to the fields, going through the motions, and doing the ordinary. When God disrupted Moses' lives in a radical way, a burning bush, that must have been a sight to see. Most people would have run the other way. But something inside Moses prompted him to walk toward the fire. He was able to discern the moment as a holy encounter. Something new was calling him. I believe it was the spirit of curiosity dwelling within him. Curiosity, a desire to know more about what God has for you, is a secret to shifting into a higher purpose. Curiosity is always the catalyst to calling, and it's the antidote to the spirit of the ordinary. The voice of heaven is leading you off the mundane path of predictability and onto a more anointed, adventurous one. Cool. Okay, the question is, what is a current example of a burning bush in your life? What are you curious to discover about yourself and what God might be revealing about your future? So I wrote, kind of ironic, but I would have to say my MS illness, I get these burning sensations kind of in my hands and feet and sometimes other parts of my legs. So it's a struggle sometimes to keep moving forward, pushing forward, but I know God has my back. I also know He uses me to be encouraging to others and reassure them that it'll be okay. Give your worries and cares to Him, and He'll take care of you. No matter what happens to me in the future, I will always praise Him. I've been thinking this channel will be and already is my saving grace. So this week I promised there would be some purpose quotes for men versus last week where I had it more geared toward women. So anyways, I did find some really cool faith-based purpose quotes. So let me read a few for you. The first purpose of your life is to be loved by God. Yes, it is important to serve Him, obey and trust Him, but your first purpose is to love Him. Here's a good one. With all your heart, you must trust the Lord and not your own judgment. Always let Him lead you, and He will clear the road for you to follow. Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. This one's cool. Real men stay faithful. They don't have time to look for other women because they're too busy looking for new ways to love their own. Like that. Oh, and of course, my favorite verse of all time is this. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. All right, let's end this segment with a word of prayer. Lord, you've made me in your image, which means that I am a warrior. Let me run toward the burning bush as I long to hear directly from you and to encounter you. I am ready. And thank you for all you do. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, thanks for joining me on today's Wisdom Wednesday. I hope that you'll join me next week as I continue on the purpose segments. And it's been just wonderful to just dive into this each day and bring some encouragement and uplifting words to have a great day.